Hey everybody, Bandicoot Commando here, and welcome back to Multiverses. Last time, I did some matches with the Powerpuff Girls, and I feel bad that I wasn't able to do an extra match, because it was getting late at the time I was recording that. It was really late, that I really couldn't afford to stay up any longer than I needed to. But today, we are going to be doing some matches with Tom and Jerry here. Before we go, here's where I'm at on the battle pass at the moment. Yeah, it's funny that when you guys saw the videos of me posting Season 3 starting and doing the Powerpuff Girls, yeah, I made quite a leap here in terms of getting rewards. I really wish I could have this one right now. And I really wish I could have done this with the skin here, but I have to wait quite a while. Anyway, I've completed this event, and I'm already pretty much halfway through the power pledge here. So maybe if I can level up the two while I'm doing this, I might be able to... Where are they at? Oh, I don't think we're going to level up, but nonetheless, let's get going.
And so
Hey.
destiny leads me here.
There we go. Yeah, just making sure this thing's working. Okay, Tom and Jerry. As many people will know, Tom and Jerry have been around for quite a long time, and, well, they're very, like, the pivotal point of history of cartoons, really. Well, okay, maybe not quite really, but they are an iconic cartoon duo that have been around for nearly 80-something years. Just as long as Bugs Bunny. Although, in the duo's case, though, Tom and Jerry actually have debuted a few months before Bugs Bunny proper. Although that is also, if you consider the prototype bunny from one of the earlier Looney Tunes cartoons as Bugs Bunny or as a separate character. Usually, the typical formula of a Tom and Jerry cartoon is just this, really. I mean, it really depends. Most of the time, being a cat, Tom just has to chase Jerry and he wants to eat him. Or, at the very least, get rid of him. I mean, he is a cat, it's his job, he's got to keep pests out of the house and all of that. And, let's see. Usually the main highlight of the Tom and Jerry cartoons have to deal with the fact that they're known for very extreme, can't say violence, but very extreme, over-the-top cartoonish antics with the, there we go.
With precision.
Just with how over the top it is, with the various injuries and other things that Tom goes through and everything Jerry subjects him to, it's the real highlight, really. You'll be laughing at Tom's pain, but at the same time, you probably will feel sorry for him. Another fun fact to share with Tom and Jerry real quick is, when they debuted, they actually had different names. Tom was, in the cartoon, was known as Jasper. Not sure why Jasper of all things. I don't see Jasper as a good cat name. While Jerry, on the other hand, Jerry didn't really have a name. He wasn't called anything in that first cartoon, but according to I think it was either William Barbera or Hannah. Like, hold on. Yeah. Hannah Okay, yeah, that's what it is, but I need to know, like, the guys. Yeah, William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. I think it was William Hanna himself that stated that in the first cartoon, Jerry's name is meant to be Jinx. While a promo ad for the cartoon from an old poster, I think, or something. His name is said to be Pee-wee. But it wasn't until when cartoon, I think it was the 4th short that they made, that they would then be given the names that we know them as now. Although, as a homage, Tom's full name is apparently Thomas Tom Jasper Cat. And then Jerry, on the other hand, his full name is said to be Gerald Jerry Jinx Mouse. I think that's what it is. Or alternatively, you know, Pee-wee. Alright, let's get down to the moveset. Whee! Bye, Jerry. Okay, so, just know that with or without Jerry, you could still perform and do a lot of your moves, but there's a catch to it. But we'll get to the catch bit momentarily. The neutral attack of the two is that Tom will get ready to swing with a tennis racket. Just know that all of Tom's attacks, he's trying to hit Jerry, and he's never going to truly hit him. He will, however, be able to successfully, you know, tie him to a rocket or use him in a slingshot and all that. But he'll never be able to truly hurt him. Yeah, I was out of practice with Tom, so I didn't really win too many. Oh, 2 things. One, I forgot to unpause, so yeah, this was an awkward change. And I ended up losing this match anyway. But 2, this costume that the two are wearing, this is known as Baker Street Tom and Jerry. It comes from the direct-to-video movie Tom and Jerry Meet Sherlock Holmes. And it's exactly what the story is. It's that the two of them are in a story setting of Sherlock Holmes, and yeah. In this one, though, Jerry is working for Holmes, and Tom is not necessarily the Watson, but he's the servant of... He is basically a servant to the one... I forgot how to put it. Like, he's a servant to the client. This costume the two have, it's...
I would like to try that
It's
again.
like Beach Tom and Jerry, and it's basically like... It's not so much as original. Like, the two of them have wore swimsuits before in some of the cartoons when they go to the beach or anything like that. Tom's suit in particular comes from, I believe, it was the first time they went to the beach. While Jerry, on the other hand, I'm not sure if he ever wore green trunks or not. So anyway, now that we got those out of the way, let's get down again to the moves. I mentioned with the neutral attack, it's the tennis racket. The tennis racket, I mean, while it doesn't exactly do as much damage as you think it does, it actually has a very good, useful ability. Any projectiles, any enemy projectiles that are launched, and provided that they can be even reflected in the first place, and make sure they're not armor breaking ability or not, Tom can reflect them and turn them into, you know, turn them into for him and his teammate if you're doing 2v2. It's very handy if you can get it down. And it can be pretty annoying if you have to rely on projectiles. And it's just annoying like that. Tom's side attack involves swinging a mallet, a hammer mallet, a few times. And it does some good damage. It's pretty good. The up attack is that Tom will, as I'm doing right there, Tom will use a paddle ball, but he uses Jerry as the ball instead. You can basically get the, you can basically get the opponent stuck. Like, they're in a hit-stun combo until they break out of it, until it, like, wears off, since it's hard to break out of it, if ever. For their down attack, Tom will get down to the ground, and he'll, like, he'll basically be whirling his feet up, and just, basically, he's winding up and getting ready to make a lunge at Jerry. Jerry's gonna dodge, and from there... Just wanted to see me recover from that. From there, once Jerry dodges, Tom will just launch himself and lunge right into the opponent instead. The move has armor, has purple aura, so very handy to have if you're trying to bypass a lot of the armor stuff. For the air versions of the moves, the neutral remains the same. But for the others, the side attack is that Tom will swipe his claws at Jerry. It's actually decently good. For the up air, Tom will clash two garbage lids together. Yeah, like that. This attack used to have a purple aura to it until it got removed, so still, it's pretty good and damaging. For their down air attack, Tom swings downward with a frying pan, and it is a strong frying pan. Does good damage, and, of course, it has a good spike to it. Now for the specials. Just know that the specials, they all link to if Tom has Jerry or not with him. And the same goes to his attacks, but this is where, again, this is where everything will now come to play in regards to that. For their neutral special, Tom will have Jerry in a slingshot and he'll be ready to launch him. Once you let go of the special, he'll launch Jerry out, and Jerry just goes flying until he hits the ground. He does a lot of damage if he can hit an opponent, and it's very vital to have. Once Jerry's on the ground, he stays there until you go and pick him up. So basically, the gimmick with Jerry is that you gotta use him to set up for additional moves, because Jerry has the ability to attack, but it's very limited. Yeah, see how much damage it can do? Just by launching a mouse? That said, Jerry is not considered a projectile. So because of that, he can't be reflected or parried. Well, I mean, he could be parried, but he can't be reflected. This is Sports Tom and Jerry, and basically, I've seen Tom in this outfit before somewhat. It ironically comes from the one cartoon where both Tom and Jerry are in a tennis court. Although at that one, Tom is not only just trying to get Jerry out of the way, but he's trying to do a tennis match between his buddy, rival. Sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're not. His rival is the main way to put it, but with his rival, Butch. But Jerry is in red shorts that are kind of reminiscent to the swimming trunks he wore in the same, I believe in the same episode that Tom and Jerry had their beach episode debuted. Okay, so let's see, the neutral. So, once you have Jerry out, if you hit the attack button in wherever you're facing, if you're facing left or right, Jerry will shoot a cork from a wine bottle as a projectile. It's good to defend himself and get opponents off of him. And if you're close enough as Tom, you can have Tom reflect those corks. And they just turn into deadly fireball projectiles. See? Just like that. Otherwise, if you want to do some real damage with it, once you have Jerry launched, just press the special button again, and Tom will slingshot tennis balls to Jerry's position. Jerry will reflect the tennis balls and bounce them back over to Tom. And then from there, once again, just use your neutral attack to whack them back. Otherwise, if you hit opponents with the tennis balls, it won't, I mean, it'll hurt them, but they'll only suffer scratch damage. They don't flinch from it or anything. But as I found out, it still counts as a projectile to trigger the flame perk to ignite enemies. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Oh, I love that taunt. This is just simply known as Detective Tom and Jerry. It's a little different from the Baker Street one. Basically, I mean, I'm not sure how to describe it. I think it comes from like one of the recent Tom and Jerry shows, and not another direct-to-DVD movie one. Okay, so let's get back to the specials now that I've more or less finished the neutral special. The side special, which I briefly used there, Tom will just cast out a fishing line, and Jerry will be attached to it. If the line can hit the opponent, it does damage them and knock them back slightly. Oh, what am I? I'm just getting distracted and enthralled at my own thing. Their up special. Tom will... Oh yeah, actually, because without Jerry, I need to remember that. If you use the fishing line without Jerry, I don't think it's not much of a difference. It just simply doesn't have Jerry on it, and it won't do as much damage. The up special is that Tom will tie Jerry to a rocket that he can then control for a bit. From there, you can then just guide the rocket in order to hit the opponent, provided that you can pull it off. Because once you're guiding that rocket, Tom is vulnerable. And it's kind of... Okay, I don't know what happened there, but you saw that. I somehow was stuck like that, and I could not... I just could not, like, get out of that as Tom, and I'm thinking, like, what happened there? What made me, like, couldn't be able to recover like that? So, yeah, the up special, just hit the opponent with a rocket. If you don't have Jerry with you, if you use the rocket, well, first off, you gotta recharge with it. It does have a cooldown. And the same goes to the tennis balls. And in fact, I forgot to mention a part with the tennis balls of the neutral special and everything is, once you're out of tennis balls, and once Jerry is out of corks to use, yeah, once Jerry's out, you gotta pick him up to recharge it. Because regular... Yeah, because it just won't recharge on its own, so... Anyway, back to the up special. So, rockets, yeah, you gotta use the rockets. If, like I said, Jerry's separated and you use the up special, I believe Tom will kick a rocket. Tom will kick a rocket, and he will attempt, that rocket will then head over to Jerry. He won't deflect it or anything, it'll just head over and explode near him. Otherwise, if you use the rocket, well, actually, I should save that for the air version. So, then comes the down special. With the down special, Tom and Jerry, they'll just set up a mousetrap. Just a big old comical mousetrap. Don't let its appearance fool you. Although it's very blatant and therefore, you know, not just so much as blatantly there, but just easy to avoid, don't underestimate it. It still can do a lot of damage. In fact, it is strong enough to KO, and that is something you're gonna want. Once you put down a mousetrap, you gotta wait until it either gets set off, because otherwise you won't be able to set up a new one. Or at least, yeah, you won't be able to set up a new one. But once you're setting up but if you try to set up a new one, regardless if it's still there or not, Tom will go through the motions of setting it up, but as soon as it gets set up, it goes off on him and snaps. Good way to try and get a surprise attack on with it. The shrug. For the air versions of the moves, the neutral special is still the same, and the side special is still the same. For the up special, if you have Jerry, Tom won't be able to tie him to a rocket, but he will kick a rocket with Jerry riding on it, so it does function the same in a way. For the down special in the air, Tom will, he'll drop a stick of dynamite. Of course, you can use let the stick blow up and hit the opponent.
No idea what I'm capable of.
Okay, anyway, you can let the dynamite stick hit the opponent, or better yet, what you should do is you should hit the stick of dynamite with the tennis racket to launch it, because it does some good damage. And more importantly, there is a perk, which I've got equipped, that if you can have Tom hit the dynamite stick, it'll split into 3 smaller ones. Let's see.
That was a lucky shot.
So I talked about the main gimmicks with when the two of them are separated and all that. If you're doing 2v2s and you send out Jerry, if your teammate can pick up Jerry, and what will happen is that your foot. What will happen is that the opponent, or blah, blah, blah. I'm getting confused. I shouldn't be confused. What will happen is that Jerry will stick with your teammate, and anytime, I believe, either when your teammate attacks or if you attack, Jerry will still shoot corks out from his wine bottle collection. And yeah, he's got 5 of them though, unlike by default where he just has 3. Nice.
What's this?
And also, at the same time, also, your teammate will get a slight power boost in strength. From there, that's just pretty much the gimmick to it of Tom and Jerry. One little detail you should know, though, is that when Tom and Jerry are separated, if they stay separate for too long, Tom will actually begin to falter in terms of his strength. It takes a while for it to kick in, though, so when you launch and send Jerry out, do not keep him away from you for too long.
Watch your head.
Mostly because, obviously, your opponents are going to always try and take advantage of killing Jerry. In fact, that is something I will recommend and always recommend. Is that when you're fighting Tom and Jerry players, always try to kill Jerry whenever you get the chance. Because while Tom, even on his own, is still dangerous, He's at his most damaging and strongest when Jerry is with him. Otherwise, when he isn't without Jerry, he's just easier to deal with. The second thing to make note of is that, again, when you have the two of them separate, you have to plan accordingly with... Man, this poor guy just clearly does not know what he was doing. You gotta know, like, on, you know, the timing and spacing if you want to get the most effect out of the tennis balls. If done right, you could potentially have a small wall of projectiles. Of course, all that the opponent would need to do is just dodge to avoid them. Don't be afraid to use the mouse trap either, because when stuff like that happens, although that honestly should have killed him, but it didn't.
Stop panicking.
Don't mind me being quiet for the next few minutes. Part of it has to do with that there's only one more costume I have to go over with Tom. And then, yeah. Oh, so other things I can go over is, Tom and Jerry are unique as characters for the fact that, A, they have no dialogue whatsoever. They don't speak to any of the characters. They don't speak to each other. They just have no dialogue. This is in line with the cartoon where in most of the Tom and Jerry shorts, the two of them were always silent, and the only time they spoke in cartoons was usually for the sake of a gag. So yeah, just they don't talk. Although when Tom dies, as you might have known, but when Tom dies, all of his screams are I've already forgotten his name. William Hanna's screaming. Pirate Tom and Jerry. This is the last skin to go over on where it's from. This comes from the direct-to-video movie, Shiver Me Whiskers. I never saw that one. Like, the only few of those direct-to-video Tom and Jerry movies I saw, I've only seen the first one, The Magic Ring, and I've seen, what was it called? Blast Off to Mars? I think that's what it was called, Blast Off to Mars. But yeah, those are the only two I saw. I've never truly seen the others. Except for clips and all of that. Like, I'm aware of the others, like, I've seen clips of them for, like, The Wizard of Oz, Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, a little bit of, I didn't really watch it, but I saw a tiny bit of Robin Hood. It was when I was spending the night with my aunt one time, and it was, I was just trying to nap and sleep while my, I can't really call him my younger cousin or nephew or anything like that, because he's not directly related to me. He's just simply a young boy that my aunt would look after. But he was watching it, but me, I was just laying down. I was either just trying to play my DS or just trying to have a little nap. So, yeah, that's just all I have to say for Tom and Jerry. They don't talk. All the sound effects, at least from Tom, are straight from the original cartoons. Jerry, does have sounds. They are little squeaks that he'll usually let out when he's being attacked by others. And Eric Bunza is the one who provided those sounds. A little bit odd because of how normally it's Frank Welker's the one who usually can provide Jerry with new vocal sound effects when needed. Because otherwise they just simply recycle them. Alright, I think that's about it and all I can share with the two.
Time to make the donuts.
So, see you after this.
How awesome is that? Yeah, how you like that science? Gotta love my tech. Get that parkour! Oh, real scared. High alert over here. Don't make it weird. Oh!
Well, that is it, everyone. Those were my matches with Tom and Jerry. I'm just not exactly too good at using them, but when utilized correctly, they can be quite a deadly combination. If you can utilize spacing Jerry out just right and being quick on the draw with everything else. Other than that, that will do it for this session of Multiverses. Join me next time
Select your character.
as I do some matches with Velma here. Oh, she has a lot of skins, and I'm dreading this, to be honest. So that is it, and I will see you guys next time.